Welcome to 5 Minutes with Jack, the ramblings of an insane entrepreneur, where I help you tie into your passion to generate profits by building a business that you love. Hey, Jack Spirko here with episode 35 of 5 Minutes with Jack. Hey, today I want to talk to you about what makes a good business model. Now, I've talked a lot in the past about passion and saying basically, if you don't burn for your content, if it's not something that's important to you, if it's something you're putting out information and working on and building product around, if it's not something that you would be involved with, if I gave you $100 million and said do whatever you want, and once you went out and partied and got a limo and screwed off for 6 to 12 months, and you said, now I got to find something to actually do with my time, if it's not something you would still be involved with, you're in the wrong place, and that's true. But so when I say good business, I'm not going to say, well, I think you should go into this or that or the other niche, because that's passion dependent, that's desire dependent, that's all about you. But when it comes down to it, there are fundamental rules that if a business doesn't offer me, I'm not even going to touch it, I'm not even going to look at it. Number one, and the most important one out of all of them is, do I own the brand? Is it mine? That's why I don't like network marketing and affiliate marketing things and things like that. Not that you can't make some money in them, but when it comes down to it, you're never you Inc. You're under somebody else's control. They control how much money you get paid. They control the rules. They can change the pay plan. They can change everything out from underneath you. And the entire time you're working to build it, and I don't care whether it's some kind of network marketing thing or you're doing 100% of your efforts around like affiliates, like even a big program like Amazon.com or eBay. You're building Amazon's brand. You're building a network marketing company's brand. You're building eBay's brand. You're building Amazon's brand. You're not building your brand. You need to build your brand. So number one, if I'm going to run and work and build a business around a blog or a website, it's first and foremost going to be mine. I'm going to own it. I'm going to control the primary revenue streams are going to be at my discretion. I'm going to decide how much I pay for myself, how much my margins are, how much I charge for my services, who my suppliers are. I'm going to control all that, or I'm not going to touch it. Because I'll tell you what, I did it the other way back in the day when it was easy, back when you could make thousands and thousands on things like Google AdSense. I had one site that made me 30 grand for a few hours worth of work at one time. I had times where money was flowing so much out of those programs, I almost couldn't believe it. I thought it was too good to be true, and it was, because eventually Google changed the rules. And I decided at that point I would control my own brand. So that's number one. Number two, it must have recurrent revenue. I don't care how good you are at selling widgets and gadgets and doodads and advertising and everything else. There has to be some component of a business that I can plug into it where once I get a customer, that customer continuously puts revenue back into the system over and over again. Not that the customer's not served, not that maybe new things are not developed for the customer, not that there's not ongoing support, but the money is continuous. And some portion of customers will fall away. They'll go to attrition. But I have to have some portion of the revenue from the business be recurrent revenue, or it's not worth investing in today, because it's too dadgone easy to set up a system that serves your customers so well, they'll be happy to plug into it. This is not about getting people to give you money on a monthly or an annual basis because they like you. It's about giving them so much freaking value that they would be foolish not to give you your money. That's a solid recurrent revenue model. Next is it has to have multiple streams of income. Now, not in the fast money, fast talking, scam artist, Robert Allen way, multiple streams of income where you start making shit up just so you can talk about it more. But I have to have more than one revenue stream. Both direct bill, and I'll do some affiliate stuff. So, for instance, with my primary website, thesurvivalpodcast.com, I have multiple revenue streams. I have a membership program with an extremely good return of investment. Between the discounts people get, the free ebooks people get, the videos people get, the zip files of all the shows, it's a great ROI. I mean, there's two benefits in there alone that are worth $100 the day you do it, and guess what? The cost is $50 a year. So it makes sense for people to do. There's also the affinity portion of it where people say, hey, I like this show, I listen to this every day, this guy pours it out for 60 minutes a day. That's worth 20 cents an episode, which is my other side of why I ask people to participate in that. So that's how I run that revenue model. But that's not the only revenue model there is. There's also advertising space. Sponsors pay to be mentioned on the show and have a banner placed on the website. So those are 2 streams of income. I also recommend products at times only when I fully believe in them, but that ties into Amazon.com affiliate revenue. It ties into ClickBank affiliate revenue. So those are 4 streams of income there. I also occasionally am asked to consult with another company. And while I don't do full-time consulting anymore, if it's in my niche and they have a project that they want me to consult on, look at the beginning, the middle, and the end and advise them through it, I'll throw out a quote on a price, and I'll do that job for them, for a few hours here, a few hours there, from a high-level consulting value. So there is another revenue stream. I'm working on a book, Mastering the .22 Rifle. When that's finished, that will be sold through that same channel. I'm building partner websites for the site that center around similar but different niches, like SaveOurSkills.com, that Nick Ledoux is going to be working on and building and going forward with later in this month, and taking that forward into a new standpoint. So the one site, even if it splinters off into other sites, to be able to create multiple income streams, we have to have multiple income streams. Of course, we sell merchandise, t-shirts and things like that as well. Most of that goes to the partner that runs that, but a small piece comes back in to the fold, so to speak. So I'll be very honest with you, unlike a lot of people, I'm not getting rich on the survivalpodcast.com. And I probably never will be rich from that site. Not rich in the way that people talk about millions of dollars flowing and all kinds of stuff. That's not what it's about. It's about being passionate, doing something I love, and being able to pay all my bills. But that's how I've been able to do it. That's how I've created resiliency in it. So if one of those income streams falls in a little bit on itself, it's picked up on. The next thing is, in any business, it doesn't have to be this way in the first 2 or 3 years, but there has to be a pathway to a point where you could sell the business itself or sell some portion of the business. I can't sell my podcast because it's me, but I can build a business around it that one day, if I wanted to, I could sell off portions of it. I could leave it to my heirs. So maybe I'll never sell it, but if I can't sell it, it's hard to leave behind. If I can't sell it, what that means is I'm so embedded in it that only I make it work. So eventually you have to take a business that is all about you and bridge out to other things so that you have something to leave to your children and your grandchildren. Or if you so choose to retire in a traditional sense, you have something to sell off. These are things that have to be part of a business. Without that, they just don't make sense to put your time and effort in today. I guess like the other thing that really needs to be part of a business to look at it as a serious business model is there a potential in the business for a high dollar item sale that's maybe sold to only 5% or 10% of your customers? For me right now, that's consulting. Somebody wants my consulting, it ain't cheap. I believe it's worth what I charge for it. I've proven what I can do. So if a company wants me to go in and really consult with them and really help them build a program, especially that might compete with me, they're going to have to pay well for it. So that's my high dollar sales item. You look at one of my sponsors, Safe Castle Royal. These guys sell all types of prep items for the survivalist, for the prepper, food, garden tools, solar, you name it. But they also build large reinforced structures. All right, so, and shelters, like for tornado shelters and things like that. So they probably sell a whole lot less units, but by building a consumer market and selling a high-end market to a portion of that consumer market, they have more power. Without that, an online business isn't viable today. Those are the things that make a business viable. I don't want you to focus on them too much in the beginning, though, because in the beginning, it's all about building traction and brand and getting people to trust you by giving them good, honest, reliable content. That's what it comes down to at first. Make some money along the way. These are things that you think strategically, long term. Once you've succeeded at certain levels in your business, you've gotten it to where it's paying the bills. You've gotten to where it's really all about Joe Inc. or John Inc. or Jack Inc. And then you need to start expanding. These are the things of the scalability to go to the next level. Thinking about them now is important because it provides you motivation to believe in what you really can create. It can be more than just another form of a job. Instead of not working for somebody in a cubicle and working for yourself in your own little cubicle, you can actually build something big. But it can also be something that you get too worried about how I'm going to pull that off. Just know these things and be working for them down the road and be looking for the opportunities to plug these components into your business. Once you have them all plugged into the business, then you have something that's really driving and really going. But if you said if you had to pick one that's most important, owning it. Owning the brand. Being able to make the decisions. Determining the revenue. Owning it outright. If you are in any kind of a program where you're working as an affiliate or an independent contractor, or whatever other crap paint they put on it for any company anywhere, that's pocket change. That's never your business. If you don't own it, it's not yours, man. It's that simple. And with that, it's been another episode of 5 Minutes with Jack. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of 5 Minutes with Jack. To learn more, connect with our community, and get free resources to build your business, visit jackspirko.com.